I will. We will start this. So today is, what do you see on a spiritual journey? What do you do first? What do you connect to first when you start your spiritual journey? And I want to speak about that because a lot of people will go off in different directions in their life. They'll try to find everything. They'll just say, oh my God, I go get stones. I've got to get this. I've got to get that. I've got to get this. I've got to get that. And I want you, when you start your spiritual journey, quiet your mind, quiet your vibration, and ask yourself, what fits you? Not because it fits, somebody says, oh my God, sound fits me. I do a sound thing, or I do drumming, or I do this, or I do rocks, or I do this. What actually fits you? That's what you have to ask yourself. Because no matter how much I teach mediumship, work with people with mediumship, if they aren't happy of how they do the mediumship, they're never going to keep doing it. They'll get discouraged with it and they'll leave and they'll just be completely discouraged with it. So try to find something that fits your vibration. What fits you? When I teach mediumship, I teach you how to do different forms of reading. Whether reading flowers, which are more psychic, whether it's reading your conscious energy, other different things of reading rocks, feathers, medicine bags. There's all kinds of different ways, but it's still the idea of psychometry. It's the energy of the object, energy of the vibration that you are propelling within your life. So if you're giving something enough energy, it's going to radiate you. It's going to make you feel very comfortable with that journey. See, if I tell you, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and that's not something you really like doing, you're not going to end up doing it for the rest of your life. You're just not. You'll do it until you finally get discouraged and leave it. It's more of working with psychometry, working with energy of objects. If you walk into a bookstore, if you're looking to buy a tarot card, so you're looking to connect to something in that wavelength, start touching the decks, see which one radiates to you. Which one actually radiates to you?
Calls will not be answered.
Which one radiates to your vibration? Which one radiates to you? Which one? So that's what you have to do. You have to ask yourself, what do you have to do? What do you have to put in motion? See, I love catching people before they get too far down a rabbit hole. It's all about you creating your day, creating your existence, creating your vibration. So if you're not creating it, then what happens, if you're not creating the existence, creating the vibration in your life, then you stay at a situation in life that you don't grow. You don't move forward. You don't grow from that situation. You stay put in that vibration. You have to grow in this business, in this vibration from this vibration of understanding spirit. You have to grow. And it's through a lot of things within our lives, we grow. And that's through psychometry. When you're doing mediumship or doing the vibrational mediumship, you're allowing the energy to raise in your vibration. The higher you propel your energy, the more connection to your higher self and the higher energy from the spirit world you get. When you're focusing your intent on something, you get to that higher vibration, that higher energy. So you do these affirmations, these different things in your life to keep you balanced. Whether you look at a candle and do candle gazing, do mirror gazing, do some kind of gazing where it keeps your attention, keeps your vibration, so you can focus your intent. I don't care if you sit in your house and you stare at a wall, but you never let your mind waver from that wall. You never let it waver from that situation. You stay focused in that direction. When I was taught mediumship many years ago, it was never that I had to quiet my mind and stay focused. I couldn't waver off into some field and see guides and see all these people. I could only focus my intent in my direction and stay there. not allowing guides and different people to move me somewhere else. And when you're doing meditation, it's the best meditations. I tell people when they're starting this situation, the best meditation is you, when you, uh, when you go into the situation or go into the vibration, you're always, what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to find, you're allowing yourself to find that true nature that you are, your vibration, your connection in your life. That whole energy, that whole connection in your auric field is not because you have that connection. It's that idea of what you're doing. If it's meditation, then do you be the best meditator that you can be. You focus your intent the best you can and take whatever books you can do, mindful books. I do a mixture of Buddhist meditation with mindfulness and different other techniques that I use to bring myself to center. So it's whatever techniques you have, but we're never just one solid person in our life, not one solid connection in our lives. And we go, oh my God, this is exactly the only thing I need to do. Because most of us are in parts of our lives that we are sitting in a direction and we're trying to focus all this energy, especially if you're in the New Age community or the spiritual community. You have things coming at you constantly throughout your spiritual growth, whether it's sound, whether it's rocks, whether it's this, whether it's that. You're told all this information through all this stuff. And when you eventually make yourself your own little bag. When I do readings, I have a reading class I do out here on medicine bag mediumship. And I have everybody in the room take a medicine bag. I go fill the medicine bag with all their stuff. They go through all the tables, pick up everything that they think that they need. Once they bring the bag back up to me, then I give them a reading about their life, about what they chose from those tables. We're doing that with our mediumship, with our connection to our spiritual growth. We're walking through all the tables and loading up our medicine bag. And we tuck that medicine bag in our pocket because this is all the stuff we think we need. But it's what you just think you deserve in your life. What do you believe that you deserve? I believe that I deserve to be connected to spirit. I believe that I deserve to be healthy. I believe I deserve to have that true connection to my higher self. It's our belief system that actually is going to convince what guides follow you. If you're telling your guides, oh, I don't believe in guides, you don't want to talk to guides, oh my God, I want to. You already told them you don't want to speak to them. You want to be able to tell them, like, yo, yep, I want to speak to you. I'm gonna find this connection or this vibration in my life. See, if we don't do that, if we don't connect in the vibration in our lives, we don't connect to that connection, then what are we going to do in our lives if we just say, aha, we are just here? It's the question is being just here, being present. When I went to a meditation retreat, it was never nothing about anything else. The meditation retreat, it was learning to be present, learning to be quiet, to go into silence and be present, looking, connecting to your higher self. Guides will follow you throughout your life. That's not a major ordeal. Your family members, they'll follow you. There's different guides that will follow you. Spiritual teachers will follow you. Until you actually get connected to them, they will just follow you. They will just be part of the vibration with you. They'll just follow your auric field. They will not say, oh my God, we're just going to talk. We're just going to talk to them. We're just going to talk to them. We're just going to stand here and talk to them. No, guides do not do that. They allow you to make that effort to speak to them. So when you're looking at starting your spiritual path, you're thinking about starting it. What is arriving in your life? What has got your attention? Maybe it's something I teach. Maybe it's something Christopher Timms teaches. Maybe it's something some other teacher teaches. What gets your attention? Then take from it, whatever that study, whatever that vibration you have, take from it what you need and place it on the shelf. Then go on to something else that arrives in your life. Mediumship and working with spirit is like a smorgasbord. There's all these tables laid out ahead of you, and you go to each thing with your plate, trying to figure out what you need to pull from that direction and taking it back into your auric field. Don't throw yourself off balance and go, my God, I need to do this. You don't have to do that. You don't have to walk a certain way to do mediumship. I've been out here for years and people say, my God, Lewis, you're born a medium. No, you're not. You're born with psychic and intuitive abilities when you are born. It's what you do to improve them through your life makes you the good medium or the psychic or whatever you want to be in your life. But it's what you propel in your vibration throughout your life. Whatever you propel within your vibration. You have to ask yourself, what do you really want in your life? What do you personally need in your auric field? The vibration is just simple. What do you need? Everything about spirit is a connection to higher ground. Everything to the vibration of spirit is to higher ground. And you have to ask yourself, what do you need? What do you personally want? And I really want that connection to you, not to me. As a teacher, as an instructor in mediumship and psychic abilities, I'm not here to influence you on how I do it. I'm here to give you all the tools that you need to make you the medium that you're supposed to be. Not for you to follow my direction or my path, but to follow your own. I have a client of mine that she does readings just through music. That's all she does. She hears music in her head. And through the songs and the music that appear in her head, she gives you a reading. It's how she works with spirit. It's how she works. Now, you might say, well, I don't hear music. I don't hear that. And that was not really supposed to work for you. It's supposed to work for her, though. It gets her to where she needs to be. But you figure out your direction, the clairsentient, the clairvoyance, the clairaudience, whatever your direction is, and what gift you have in your first vibration. And you don't have to be all these clairs and go, oh my God, we got to be clairvoyant. Oh my God, we got to be clairaudient. Oh my God, we got to be clairsentient. You can just be psychic. You can just feel the energy on something. Feel the energy of the situation and be able to give a reading from that. You start there. You start wherever that path is that leads you to that situation. You might be a psychic detective. You might be something else in this work. You might be an automatic writer. You might do automatic writing from the spirit world. You start with a gift that's placed in front of you. I just happen to have a lot of really extremely powerful teachers that have appeared in my life throughout the world. And they've all taught me something. Everybody, no, I don't care what the worst teacher is, worst vibration that ever happened in your whole life. They are probably your best teacher, your best instructor in your life, because they're going to teach you what not to do. Teach you not to pick up on your spiritual journey. Trust your idea of where you are, because I can't help you unless you understand where you want to be. Where do you want to be in your mediumship? Where do you want to be in this connection to the spirit world? I could tell you everything in your life and say, oh my God, you need to do this. Oh my God, you need to do that. But what do you really want to do with it? You want to impress people? Well, you might not get too much mediumship work if you just want to impress people. Spirit's not here to impress. Spirit's here to work, to help, to encourage. They're not here to impress. I don't pat myself on the back, oh my God, I did a great reading. I don't do that. Because I know that whatever channeled through me was for you and never for me in the first place. It was never for me. It was never for somebody else. It was always for the person that I wanted to bring forth. So when I did readings last night here, I did a whole bunch of readings in the temple. I don't remember any of the readings. I have no idea what I told people. I have no idea what I told people or what I put in motion. All I know is that I did the readings and my mouth moved and I spoke. I allowed myself to be the channel from spirit. And that's giving up some kind of control to spirit, allowing spirit to work through you and trusting that they're not going to beat you up. They're not going to beat you up as you do the mediumship work. You trust them that they're going to bring the information through that you is going to benefit, encourage, and bless the individuals around you. But you first start working with you. You is the information that spirit is trying to give you personally. Is it good for you? Does it fit the vibration for you? Are you working with guides that want to help you, or working with situations that you need to say, no, I'm not going to accept that energy from this group. I need to have a different group to show up. The mediumship work in our lives is always going to be something that fits our vibration, that fits our connection to where we need to be. It always is. Whether you're a professional medium, whether you do it professionally or you do it on your own accord in your own vibration. It doesn't matter what you do, but mostly the mediumship work is mostly for you. Most of my mediumship work is for how I encourage my higher self and get me to where I personally need to be. I'm not here to encourage the world. Hopefully I help, I encourage, I do what I can, but I'm mostly trying to raise my vibration to the highest level. It's that next door, that next venture, that next journey that I can get through. It's never the one hill. I want to get to the next hill. I want to move to that next hill. And that's when I explain to people, when you're doing this work, sit and tell yourself, don't tell yourself, oh, I can't do that. I've never been able to get that. I've never been able to do that. Oh, I don't see spirit. Oh, I can't get that. If you keep telling yourself that, the spirit world will listen to you. And you'll probably never see that. You'll never connect to that because you've told spirit, I can't connect to that. I don't know how. I love when people do readings, go, I don't know what I'm saying, but well, it throws me off balance because now if you don't know what you're saying, why should I listen? Why should I listen if you don't know what you're saying? Gear your words of what you're saying to yourself. That's one of the things in that mindful meditation, getting quiet within the space, going into the silence, getting that voice within your head to get on the right path. I've said here in church before, we can talk about, my father used to talk where two or more are gathered, there I am. Well, it's not two people. People get that all mixed up. It's two people. There's two people. Have to have two people with me. No, it's not. It's your higher self and your physical self. Where two or more are gathered, there I am. Where your higher self is and your physical self is. You have to get both of them on the same page. Quiet the voice within your head and be on the same page with your higher self. Things start to happen in your life. You have to quiet them. And sure, it's work. It's always work. You have to quiet yourself. You have to figure out what your guides are trying to tell you, but also what you're telling yourself. And a really good exercise to do with that is to ask for something out loud. Sit quiet in your house, ask for something out loud. And after you ask for it, quiet yourself and see what the inner voice tells you. What's that inner voice saying? That is playing in your head. That is the voice you need to change, because if it's something you've asked for, you really want it, but your inner voice is telling you, oh no, you'll never get that. That won't happen. That's the voice you have to change. Where two or more are gathered. That's a lot of work trying to get that done. But if you work at it, you focus your intent. Once you quiet that inner voice, you get it on the same page, things start to manifest with your mediumship. Because now you're not telling your guides, you're just one voice, one correction to spirit. Spirit is a mess of bunch of guides. Remember, family members are not guides. So somebody tells you your guide is your family member, they're not your guides. They are not. They are not. Family members are helpers, encouragers, and people to bless you on your journey. They entered this lifetime with you. Now, if your grandmother was dead long before you entered this earth plane, grandma could be a guide. But if you knew them, you had a connection to them, they were on this earth plane with you, and you had this personal connection to these people, they are not your guides. They're not. They are your helpers. They come in to help, to encourage, because you handpicked your guides before you entered this earth life. Handpicked them. Your health guides, your doctors, your physicians, your alchemists, your gatekeepers, all these people you handpicked to join you on this journey, to help you and encourage you on your journey. You handpicked them. So you didn't just say, oh my God, I'm just going to take whoever shows up. Your life would be a little bit of a mess if you did that. Whoever wanted to show up at the front door and ring the front doorbell. You handpicked all these guides to follow you. Same thing when I do trance mediumship with Lucerne. I have trance guides that are just strictly just trance. They're not mediumship guides. They're not anything else. They just strictly work with my trance mediumship, because those are the guides I trust to overshadow me, to pull up close to my vibration, and to sit in my auric field and take control of my vibration. I trust them to do that. So they're different than what I would have as a guide or other protector in my life. It's when you look at families, like we can look at our whole family tree. There's probably quite a few people in each one of our family trees that we probably wouldn't break bread with. We wouldn't eat with them. Oh my God, we're not going to trust them for anything. That's the same thing with the guides in the spirit world. Discern your guides, discern who's working with you. When you start this spiritual path, the information that you get from your guides should be something you go, oh my God, that's perfect information. It came out to be true. It's perfect. It works really great for me. Then follow that guide, then follow that vibration. But if the information does not pan out for you, it doesn't quite work for you. Spirit is said it's supposed to work, but they haven't manifested or brought in your life, then maybe you need to change guides. Maybe you have to have a, as Anita Evans would say, yeah, maybe you need to have a come to Jesus moment with your guides, a moment with them, to speak to them, to have an understanding with them as you personally move forward. And whether you use rocks, tarot cards, different things of vibration. I have a chessboard here at my house. My uncle used to use that to do readings with. The chessboard's all really kind of cool. And he'd have you move all the pieces on the chessboard. And when you finish moving all the pieces where you thought it looked really cool, then he would give you a reading where all the chess pieces were sitting. And he did quite well with that. People really loved that kind of idea. He did that with that chessboards and with checkers. Move the checkers anywhere on the table you want to move them. But as soon as you move them, then he would give you a reading on your movement of what you're doing on the table. So there's different ways, because the person, you're not really reading the table. You're not reading the chess pieces. You're not reading the not reading the checkers. You're reading the energy that someone's putting into the situation. When you sit down in my office, you bring every bit of baggage, every bit of stuff that you have placed in your auric field. Every bit of baggage, every bit of luggage, every bit of debris that you've brought with you comes in the office with you. It is brought in. Some people come dragging duffel bags into my office, but baggage, stuff is within your auric field. I have to pay attention to that. As a medium, as an intuitive, I have to pay attention to that. A lot of people in this earth plane are empathic. They're empathic individuals, empathic. They sense the energy around them. So when people come in with a lot of luggage, you go, ooh, I don't feel good with that. You should always listen to your first thought, first impression. Don't get yourself into a situation and go, oh, Jesus, I should. Don't do that. Don't place yourself, oh, I knew that was wrong, Lou. I knew I shouldn't have been over there. I shouldn't have been listening to that person. But you went there anyway, even though your first thought said, ooh, stay away. If you come up to my door with 20 duffel bags of garbage and you want to come in for a reading, I will probably talk to you through the glass door and say, I am booked today. I am so sorry. I will not be able to do your reading today. Because sometimes when we take something on that we already know that is completely broken, and our guides are telling us, oh, don't go there. Don't venture there. It's only when we venture there. And I tell this from life experience. over almost 60 years of working in this business. Once you go somewhere and your guys have said to you, please stay with me. And we go. And it doesn't really work out well. Doesn't work out well at all. Then we have to kick ourselves. Say, I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have been there. I took a lady into my office one time, and I was against my guides. I took her in anyway to give her a reading. And this guide was behind her. And he had this big green nail. I can still vision the nail, big green nail. And through the whole reading, he was scratching my shoe with this nail. And every once in a while, he'd peek out from behind her and go, I'm going to kill you. Oh, God. But she was in my office, right up in my art field. And here was this guy, this big green nail, looking at me. So then my guy got a little excited and punched him. But the question is that he was there. He was around the vibration. Then when I finally finished the reading, I asked her, I said, what do you do? Oh, she said, you brought that all through. She said, I'm a Wiccan priestess. And we have sacrifices once a month. And I have a guide that is all dressed up, but he's all dressed up in black, but he has these large nails. Well, I met him. I saw him, but I knew that he was there before I started the reading, but I went ahead and took it on anyway. Always listen to your vibration when you enter the path, when you enter the journey. Always listen to that. You can say, Lewis, I'm not going to. If I'm going to start you out reading tree readings, having tree readings, and I teach those in my class, I have you draw a tree, sign your name. I tell you all about your life. Maybe that's something that might work for you. I do wax readings where I burn a candle, let it burn for a while, let you stare at it. And then I pour the wax into water. You know, when you pour the wax into the water, faces start to appear. Faces start to appear in the vibration. Faces start to appear in the water. So the question is the vibration is very simple. Whether you do rope readings, flower readings, smoke readings, crystal readings, different vibrations in the auric field, different vibrations in the auric field. What do you feel like you need? What do you personally need when you're a mediumship? That's what you have to ask yourself. What are you connecting to? What are you connecting to in the vibration? Not because I connect to it. When I do smoke readings or fire readings, I do ember readings, which I allow a fire, I build a fire. I let the fire burn down and allow you to take a rake and rake the embers and rake the embers. And when you start to rake the embers, you'll notice that in the fire, faces will start to appear out of the embers and look at you. These are little things that you can do. Maybe that works for you. Maybe something else works for you. Maybe the heavenly vibration. But you should always allow yourself to be directed. And when you move towards it, it should fall into place like clockwork for you. That's the major key with this. It's not because I have to say, oh my God, you need to do this way. Walk this way. Don't do any other kind of mediumship this way. Came back in the 60s, I think back in the late 50s, there was a lot of craziness going on with mediumship, especially physical mediumship in the United States. A lot of trickery going on. So then, as mediums, there was a law passed through Lilydale, a lot of the mediumship camps, that there was no more physical mediumship. It was going to be mental mediumship. Mental. No more tools. Nobody was allowed to use tools. So that's why a lot of the camps now have mental mediumship. Because at one time, people were using cards. They were using rocks. They were using this. They were using that. They were doing this. But they come to find out some people were doing things with them that weren't completely above board. That's why I went into mental mediumship. So there were no tools being used, nothing being used in the reading. But tools are never this vibration of you saying, I need my tools. Tools are mostly for you. If I pull up a tarot card and I pull up a tarot card for you, it isn't the question of the tarot card is for me. It's to give you the energy field. If I pull up the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Swords is not for me. The Ace of Swords has some meaning to you. Same thing with animal totems. If you do animal mediumship, animal totems will change as you move down the path. Don't think, well, Lewis, I have the bear. I've had the bear since I've been 12 years old. I've got the bear. You don't get the bear your whole life. You only get the bear as long as you need the bear. You might need you might need a blue jay. You might need some other animal totem and avenues within your life because you need the energy of that animal totem. The one animal totem will not follow you throughout your life. Same as not all your guides will follow you through your whole life. Not all of them will venture forth in the vibration. They will not. Your guides will stay with you, as far as I said here in these classes: gatekeeper, physician, alchemist. The rest of your guides will change. They'll redo themselves. The three main guides will stay with you throughout your life, but the other ones will change as you move forth. When I've been in classes, I didn't keep the same teacher through grade school, high school, college. I didn't keep that. What I did was I changed teachers because the other teacher could take me the rest of the way. The same thing with guides. Same thing with teachers. I give you all the aspects of it. Somebody else might give you another part that you really like. Place it in the table. But sometimes we have a psychic home cleaning, house cleaning in our vibration. Every once in a while, you need to step back and go, do I really need this? Do I need this vibration in my auric field? Ask yourself, especially if it keeps appearing that guides wanting to get it away from you. Trust your movement in your life, the movement of where you're going. Now, any spiritual journey that I've seen in my life through other individuals is exactly the same as everyone else's. Everybody's spiritual journey is different. You'd have had a trauma in your life and all of a sudden you started to see spirit. You might have had something happen that pushed you in the way of spirituality. I've been born with it. I just had to be born with it. But you could have had it through your life. But we all have the pieces that we need as we move forward. Because kids can come to my class, they already know how to do mediumship. They're already connected. They haven't lost that gift. They weren't told that if they keep talking to themselves and keep talking to spirit, somebody will chase them down and put a net on them. They were never told that. They were allowed to do what they need to do. I was always encouraged to see what I wanted to see, to talk to spirit in the spirit world, have that communication with them. I was never said, don't do that. I was always encouraged to do it. In my own home. I could not do it in the church. I couldn't do it in my father's church, but I knew what the rules were, where I could do it, but I was not told I couldn't do it. And when we allow ourselves, when we get older, like some people here, we're a little older, you have to grease up the lock. You have to try to unlock the door because the door's been locked for quite a few years. It's been locked. And it takes work. It takes work to get the door back open. So if your mediumship isn't where you think it should be at this moment, give it time. Give yourself time. Because you'll eventually get the door unlocked. Because some people quit this business, they get out of the business just as the door is getting ready to be unlocked. Don't give up on it. You might have just greased that door, nailed that door shut. You have to do a little bit more work to get it back open again. But everybody is intuitive. Everybody is empathic. Everybody is a medium. Everybody can do this. It's levels in the spirit world. You want to stay at level 1, and that's what all you want to see, that's where you'll be. You want to keep moving up the levels and seeing spirit. Spirit will allow you to do that. Keep moving you higher and higher and higher and higher. as far as you want to go. You have to keep asking them. Because your guides, when I teach out of body experiences with people, so when you hear water, rushing water, and you hear bells, you hear this stuff going off in the distance when you're in meditation. Allow yourself to go with the flow. Don't say, oh, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Spiritual. They will bring you back. If you hear running water or rushing water when you're in meditation, that means you're getting ready to leave your body, have an out-of-body experience. Allow it to happen. Feed into the vibration. Allow that to happen so you could have an out-of-body experience and walk with your guides. Walk with them. Walk with them in the spirit world. That's the key. Some of us want to visit. They get readings because we want to speak to spirit. Want to speak to somebody that passed to spirit. Some people just want readings on a psychic level, want to know what's going on in their life. They're going to have a love life. Their kids going to do okay. They're going to stay where they are. More of a psychic vibration, more of a psychic reading of the vibration. But I want you to put whatever you want in this head of yours. It's all psychic vocabulary. It's how spirit works with you. Not because I'm teaching it to you. It's what you retain in here. Psychic vocabulary. And I've said before, it's like you might get a whole screen in front of your face and you see a feather, you see a truck, you see a squirrel, you see a tree. Then all of a sudden the screen goes blank. Now, out of all that symbols that you saw, you've got to give a reading. You've got to connect to a reading. You've got to connect to it. So you've got to figure out what that feather, what the truck means, what the squirrel means. You've got to figure out what all that means to you and give a reading from that information you received. Some people are scared to say, oh my God, I saw this. When you're in classes or you're in a vibration of learning, state what you get. State what you get from the vibration. You could just be right. You could just be right, the whole situation. I've had so many classes I've had that people say, oh, I should have said that. I felt that. Why didn't you say it? Oh, I didn't think I should. Say it. Converse. When I teach class, I have people write down on a piece of paper, write down 3 words on a piece of paper. Put them somewhere in a box. Pick them out every once in a while. If you saw those 3 words, what would you say? That's all the words you saw in the vibration. Didn't see anything else. What would you say with those 3 words? What kind of information would you give? It's telling a story. Telling a story. Writing a story. You'll be the type of medium that starts at the front of the book, reads through all the chapters, gives you a beautiful journey, and comes to the end of the book and finishes up the end of the book in a beautiful vibration. Or you can be the individual starts at the end of the book and it's over pretty quick. Where you want to start. Telling a story, telling a vibration to someone. Trust yourself. That's that belief that Spirit's working with you. Faith. Don't be getting rid of fear on your journey. So many times, I'll take a few minutes for this, but I've told you so many times I have people say, Lewis, I'm going to be pulled out of my body and they will bring me back. Oh, I'm going to meet evil people on the other side. There's so strange stuff. Oh, I got to protect myself, Lou. I got to throw sea salt. I got to say a special prayer. I've got to. All of a sudden, if we start saying that or believing that that's going to happen, we start feeding into that fear vibration within our lives. We allow ourselves to feed into the fear. Fear of giving a message, fear of being right, fear of being wrong, fear of this, fear of that. We have to allow that to be, allow it to go. I don't protect myself. I ask for my highest and best and nothing else. Not asking for your highest and best, not asking for anybody else's highest and best. I'm asking for mine, highest and best, and nothing else. What I ask for. So if you, all you have to say, your highest and best, nothing else. You put every one of your guides on notice. Your highest and best, nothing else. You're not going to attract something unless you go venturing off in that direction. You only attract whatever's for your highest and best. I don't have fear of my mediumship. I don't fear where I'm going on the other side because I know that I'm protected. I know that spirit will protect me. So I don't have that fear. Maybe because I've died a few times, I don't even have fear of death. I know that I know where I'm going. I know where the bus will take me. But it's where we decide that fear of that connection. Don't believe that you got to have something. I have a client, she does reading. She sprays herself down with holy water before she starts reading, just in case there's some evil in her office. Huh, really? Now she's already put her place in that vibration of spraying herself with holy water. Really? Or you gotta have that special stone or that special rock to quiet the vibration, to make it more protective in your auric field. The only thing I tell people to do if you're going to do mediumship work or with tools, keep your tools covered. I have bags like this. I have bags, little bags like this. And I keep my tarot cards or spiritual things like pendulums, different things in covered bags. I don't leave them out just to wonder, just collect whatever energy. I put whatever energy I want into the pendulum or the cards, and I place them in the bag and I put them away. And I don't allow them just to sit out. Because once I place them in the bag, I put them in a protected cover. So whatever energy that I personally put into them will stay in there. I don't allow people to play with my personal deck. I have other decks you can play with. Personal deck, I do not let you touch that. Same thing on my own pendulum. If I'm doing a pendulum reading or I'm doing pendulums for myself, I'm not going to allow you to touch the pendulum. But then I have to deal with your energy on the pendulum now. Now I have to clear it. I have to clear your energy out the pendulum before I can use it just for my own personal benefit. So if you're allowing people to touch your spiritual stuff, but I taught in class, but I taught tarot cards. When you're doing readings for tarot cards, you have a deck for you, your personal deck, yours. Then you have a deck for public use, where people touch it. People cut the deck, they do things, they touch the deck. That's your personal, that's your professional deck to use in public. But the private deck for your own personal knowledge, growth in your life should be, nobody touches that. The more energy you put in, it's all psychometry. As I said before, it all comes down to psychometry. The more energy you put into it, the stronger the deck, the stronger the tool will become. If you use it every day, I have a deck of cards here that's been used by my family for probably over 150 years. My great-grandmother used it, my grandmother used it, my mother used it. I have the deck now. There's energy from my whole generations of family in that deck. Probably will not let you touch that deck. But it has my family history on that deck. So it's when you have history with what you're using. You could have an altar in your home. Can't have everybody in the house come and put stuff on the altar. It's your altar, your personal altar. You placed everything there for the blessings that you want to happen. If you let everybody put everything else on the altar, it's going to displace the energy, displace the vibration around it. It's your altar, your personal altar. Well, there's public altars, put whatever you want on them. But your own personal altar should be where your stuff is, your vibration is. But it's a question here, it's when there's spiritual journey. Sometimes spiritual journeys take off on a run. And you're running as fast as you can, trying to learn as fast as you can because the energy is coming so quick. And some journeys are very slow, methodical, as they move down the path. It's what journey you're on, where you are today on your path, this journey in your path right now. Where are you on your path right now? Then ask your guides, is there something I've missed, something I should be seeing with my spiritual work? Please show me. Then watch. If I walked up in your life tomorrow and said, oh my God, I started using this tarot deck. Then next week, somebody else shows the same things. Next week, somebody else shows the same thing. There's a reason. There's repetition. Body, mind, spirit, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. The repetition of stuff, the synchronicity, the situations that happen in your life. I'm a big opponent to synchronicity because I watch how things happen. I watch for spirit to work with me. Sure, I can ask for stuff, but it has to go through all the ethers. It has to go out to the spirit world. Now, when that goes out to the spirit world, I'm allowing them to come back to me. And now I'm getting a little older. They have to get my attention. They can't just hit me once and hope to God I got it. I want them to show me a couple of times to make sure that I know that's what they want me to look at. And that's why I always tell them, body, mind, spirit, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Show me 3 or more times, and I'll at least pay attention to it. If it only happens once, it's probably not there to get my attention. Sometimes it might be there to annoy me, not to get my attention. So when you're working with mediumship, find your higher self. And that's just strictly through meditation. I've said here before, you just have to sit, find a place to sit, meditate. Psychometry, meditate in that space. Then every day, go back to that same space and meditate again. Meditate all the time in that space. But pretty soon the energy will take on a life of its own. Same thing with cards, same thing with tools, same thing with stuff that you do. It takes a life on of its own. So you have to ask yourself, where do you personally want to be? Where do you want to be? Not where I want you to be. And I really want that to come through the people's vibration, connection to people's vibration. It's not where somebody wants you to be, not where they want you to be. Where do you personally need to be? You. There's what you have to ask. I wanted to help you. I want to do all these things and teach you on these recordings every Thursday and teach you different types of readings, different vibrations, how to do different things, how to connect to the spirit world. And you might see something that I do, you go, oh my God, I love that. That's just perfect for me. But I want you to look at what you're doing, because there's a book on the market that when I was doing healing, it's called The History of Psychic Healing. And during that book, the book says, I think some of it's off the market now, but there was a saying in the book, said that I am soul, I am light divine, I am love, I am will, I am fixed design. Even though I read that book back when I was 18 years old, I still remember that saying. I am soul, I am light divine, I am love, I am will, I am fixed design. I remember that. It's always stuck with me. When I have issues in my life, I say that healing prayer from that book. It is set in my mind. Sure, we have a healing prayer for spiritualism, but that prayer from the psychic healing is what sticks in my mind. That I am soul. I'm soul. Here I am. I am light divine. I am a creation of the divine. I am love. I'm pure love. I am created through love. I am will. I have free will to do what I want. I am fixed design. Probably not going to change. Might add something to this package, not going to change. So I love that saying. I love that vibration. So I really want you to get, when you start this work, your spiritual journey, your spiritual path, find a word to turn the mediumship on. I don't care what you say. Find something to turn it on. Then have a keyword, a safe word, and your vibration to turn it off. If they open the door and spirit comes running through, You don't want them in your auric field talking to you 24/7. Listen to experience. You don't want them in your business 24 hours a day. You have to shut it off every once in a while. If I go to a hospital to visit somebody, I do not have it on. Too many spirits running through there. When I go someplace, when I drive my car, I don't have it on where people can jump into the car with me. I have ways to shut it off. I have safe words to turn it on, to turn it off. Then my wife will tell me, said, well, did you see that around them? Did you? No, but I had it turned off. I don't go venturing out with it on all the time. So remember, set a course. If you get up every morning at 3 o'clock in the morning because Spirit is waking you up at 3 o'clock every morning, then there's a problem. There's nothing going on in your life at 3 o'clock in the morning that can't wait till 7. Nothing. The only reason you get up, if you get up, when your guys say, oh, we're going to get her up at 2 o'clock, and you get up and start writing at 2 o'clock, then they'll be sitting next to the bed going, oh, we got her up at 2. We're going to try that again tomorrow. Then they'll start getting you up. It'll become a habit. And guides will just think like, well, you want to get up? You get up. Set the rules with your guides. Set your rules with Spirit of how you want them to arrive. Don't allow them to rearrange the whole vibration for you. It's not exactly what they're supposed to do. I've been through enough in my life where Spirit, even tonight, even when I go to sleep at night, there's heads all around my bed. And you can see them. And they're just talking to me, go, you asleep yet? Can we talk to you? What's happening? I said, you guys need to stop. You need to be quiet. Lest the house is on fire or somebody's breaking in, do not wake me up. Do not wake me up. It better be an emergency. If you're going to wake me up in the middle of the night, emergency. Anything they have to say at 12, from 12 to 6 o'clock in the morning, wait till I get up. I said, it's an emergency. There's nothing you need at that time. You need to be getting up. Write down, keep some kind of journal with your mediumship, a journal. Keep a journal. What's going on with you? When you meditate, your dream state, you don't have to keep a dream journal and a meditation journal and this journal, just one journal. When you start this spiritual journey, what's happening? Especially if it becomes repetitious along the way. You see something in a meditation and 2 weeks later you see it again. Then you see it again. Then in your waking hours, you see it again. There's messages from the spirit world. Sometimes they're straight out, they'll come in and hit you. Most of the time it's a scavenger hunt. That's what spiritual work is. It's a scavenger hunt. You're looking for pieces to make you who you are. And that's what you're doing. Collecting all the pieces that you need to make you the medium you need to be. Because I'm a little bit Presbyterian, a little bit of Methodist, I'm a little bit of Baptist, a whole lot of spiritualist. I'm a little Buddhist. I've been in Buddhist. I was in Taoism for a while. I've been in a lot of religions. But I made myself, out of all that, I made a nice little ball. Sure, I have belief systems from all these other religions. I have little things I have understanding of. But I make it when it works for me. So don't get tied down in some kind of religion or some kind of situation and go, oh, I got to believe that because so-and-so said that's the way I need to believe. As I said, when the information arrives in your vibration, does it fit you? Does it work for you? It might work for somebody else here, it might not work for you. Don't take stuff to heart. Don't beat yourself up. I might smile with I'm in Casadega. I'll smile at you. I wish you well. God bless your little heart. I'll go home, shut my door, and I'll talk all about it. Get it all out of my system. But do not allow other people to know that they've got me. And that's what we have to do in our lives. Don't allow other people to know that they've got you. Because once somebody picks a wound, they'll keep picking it once they understand that they picked a wound. Same thing when you're actually doing this work. Don't feel upset because somebody doesn't quite agree with your work. Don't get yourself all in a tither about that situation. Your work is for you. It's to teach you, to instruct you, to help you on your journey. Not to impress other people. Oh my God. If you're here to impress other people with your mediumship work, then you're in the wrong business. It's in the business of you, your vibration, your connection to spirit. It's never it's my connection to the spirit world, how I connect. You can try to follow me up the elevator, but I might miss a few floors. I might skirt past a few floors that you have to go on to. You might not be able to follow my direction. You might not be able to follow that. So listen to you. That's the best thing on your spiritual path that I can give you information about. Your true self, what works for you. You might start a whole new category of mediumship or healing. A whole new category. No one's ever envisioned, but you thought of it. And it's something that actually helps and encourages others. And you have a following now. People want to learn what you've done. The connection. I've always said that with healing, other things, other vibrations in our lives, other things in our lives. Huna, crystal healing, spiritual healing, all kinds of different types of healing. There's arcing light, there's Reiki, there's pranic. My God, we could start a book of all the different ways of doing healing. Start a book on a whole different ways on how to do mediumship, how to start a spiritual path. All kinds of different vibrations. But out of all of that, you've got to make yourself your own package. So that many years from now, not tomorrow, the next day, but many years from now, you are still in the work. You might not be doing it professionally, but you're working with your higher self. You're working with people in the penthouse. Always think of working with people in the penthouse. Eventually, you'll get to the penthouse. But right now, you need to have conversations with people in the penthouse. And you need it for you on your journey. Are you doing okay? Are you all right? Do you need more information from the spirit world? Are you in the right space you need to be in your life? And most times, people come to me not because they need me to tell them where they should be. They want confirmation. They already know where they should be. They just want me to tell them that I agree to, that I agree, that I see where they're supposed to be, and it's exactly what they see. And they go, oh, thank God. He sees what I see. Most people come for confirmation of their own belief system. Not because I'm going to change it. I'm just going to talk to them and bring through what they've already been thinking. So the same thing with you. You're asking for information to encourage your spiritual connection to spirit, to bring you to a higher sense of consciousness. Trust your vibration, your connection, not mine, yours. And that spiritual journey starts with one big step or one short one. Maybe you might crawl to the first step. I don't know. But whatever the step is, see where spirit is taking you. See where spirit is taking you. When I first learned how to talk to spirit many years ago with my mother, but not long after that went my grandfather, and he took me on a spiritual quest. Now you take a little 6-year-old out in the middle of the woods, covered in a blanket, telling me to envision the Great Spirit around me. Well, I'm 6 years old. I'm in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the woods with a blanket on me. my mind was going somewhere else. It was not going to where the spiritual animals are. It was going somewhere else. I know my grandfather was just off a few steps away because he'd come in with a blanket. I thought he had left. Thoughts were running in my mind that I was going to be eaten alive and I'll be dead at 6 and I'd be gone. That's sometimes what our mediumship. Someone has covered us with a blanket. All our mind is playing tricks on us because the blanket is covered us, but they are only a couple of steps away as protection to protect us on our journey. Remember, you're in this work, you might feel like you're covered with a blanket, but know that there are all these protectors around you, still there, you're still in plain view of them. They're allowing you to have free will and choice of where you're going. You. And that's what you take, have free will and choice of whatever direction you go into. Your guides might roll their eyes. They might make little faces at you, the journey you chose, but they will not disavow the journey. They will allow you to have free will and choice for the journey. But they don't say, well, we told you so. Oh, they allow you to see that journey through. And if you have to change directions, they will just stand there very patiently and adjust the vibration for you to follow another journey. So take the journey, do what you need to do. But spiritual growth is a method of getting there where you need to be. It's not me telling you how to get there, how to arrive at that vibration, but it's your own personal journey, your own personal quest. What is your quest today? You want to know how to heal yourself? You want to know how to do stuff? Then focus your intent on that one direction. Ask your guides for that. Don't scatter everything and think that they know exactly what you want, because that's that free will and choice of what you're asking for. Focus your intent on what you're looking for, and then keep that focus until the information arrives. Keep that focus, that pure focus in your vibration. And you haven't seen anything yet. I've noticed that guides will bring whatever they want in the vibration. And I hope I helped you today. I hope I kind of encouraged you a little bit today. I hope I encouraged you a little bit today and got you to where you need to be. Because I just feel like everything